So I recently got a good tip from someone on Instagram, and he said if you get a Zoom MS50G, sort of like a poor man Helix, if you get that one and you get this hack on the internet, you will be able to access a specific amp model. And that amp model is of a flip-top bass amp, which is then based on an Ampeg. So the guy who tipped me on Instagram, thank you by the way, he's using this flip-top amp to get really good, decent Queens of the Stone Age tones. So of course I want to try this. It's a rather cheap pedal, so I got one. I bought one. So let's go inside, do some hacking and see if we can get decent tones. Yeah. I'm finally up and running. It took me 2-3 hours to get everything working. I needed to, of course, install the firmware, the jailbreaking thing, and the thing that took... Shut up. The thing that took the most time was the freaking menus on this pedal to find the amp and the effects that I wanted to use on this user interface, which is kind of similar to using an old Nokia phone. I guess that's why it's so cheap, because yeah, that's horrible. But I think it sounds really good. The flip top is obviously not a Ampeg VT40 or VT22 or V4. It's a bass amp, but it sounds a lot like the VT40 that I have. And I tried to use the cab sim and run everything straight into my audio interface. That didn't work. Maybe you can get that to work. But now I'm using a neutral vessel, and that's the amp from Milkman. And that sounds like this. And this is the Klon Centaur that I often use together with my Ampeg or a Klon pedal, and this is the Senta Gold. Then I added a graphic EQ, and I'm pushing 400 and 800 Hertz. Not a lot on the 800, most of the pushing is on 400. And that sounds like this. And then I'm turning off those again, so you can just listen to the flip-top amp. And that sounds like this. A very boomy, big sound, which again sounds really close to how my Ampeg sounds in the room. And then we add the graphic EQ. And the Klon. It's really hard with the gain, I think, on especially digital products to find the right amount of gain. I think that's easier in a context, and the context is a song. So you might think now for some songs that it's too much or too little. You need to really work the gain. I've tried to adjust the gain on the amp, the level on the amp, and the level on the gain on the Clone Centaur. And you get a bit of a different result from all of them. I feel that there is some sort of like sizzling in the top end that I'm not able to get rid of. Maybe I can do that with plugins, but I'm leaving it in the video so you're listening to the same as I am doing right now. Let's try a bit more, and then I want to try to put it into a context, a song. Yeah. Song. So first of all, let me know what you think of the sounds that I got from this very pedal. I think it sounds good. It's definitely worth it for the price. And I guess, or I know that there's a lot of other stuff that you can do with this pedal. Even if you decide not to do like the hack thing, it's a very like popular pedal, and I understand why. I think the sounds that I got were really good. They did sound a bit digital to me. In the mix it worked a lot better, but like when I was just playing the pedal, it sounded a bit like harsh in the top end, and I was not really able to get rid of that. It might be just that amp model, it might be the setup that I had, but yeah, that's my thoughts on this pedal. Really fun pedal, and yeah, it's a cheap way to get that sound if you are into that. Goodbye.